The 49ers need to add a safety, and Justin Simmons, the former All-Pro, still wants to play. I am in Phoenix, by the way, and we are making channel history for the first time. Casper is driving on the freeway. Here we are merging, and this is history for me. I got early freeway approval from Waymo. And it is happening. And as soon as we merge onto the freeway, there is a big truck carrying a bunch of cars just to our left. This might be freaking some of you out, but we are officially at above 50 miles an hour, headed toward downtown Phoenix. Casper is getting the job done. Look, there's no driver. And I think we're even going on a freeway interchange here. All right, yeah, this is gonna be good. So, the safety market is not as good. The safety free agent market is rough. And I agree with Richard Sherman. I do think that the 49ers still need to bolster that position. Now, the question is, are you going to be able to find someone like a Tashawn Gibson back in 2022? And the 49ers did not acquire Tashawn Gibson until right before the start of the regular season in 2022, and that was the veteran safety on the wrong side of 30, who had a bunch of career interceptions, who delivered a career year for the 49ers behind a really good run defense and pass rush in 2022. Actually played for the 49ers in 3 separate seasons, was a full-time starter in 22, 23, and then came back when they needed him in 2024. But I think that is easier said than done, to pick up a safety who was as effective as Tashawn Gibson for the 49ers. It's probably easier said than done to be in a driverless car on a freeway interchange, but we're getting this done right now. Oh, we're taking an exit. We're going too fast. It's only 45 here. We're doing 52. Wow. All right. Well, I think that was the freeway portion of our trip. I think that we can all take a deep breath now and start talking more about what the 49ers might do at the safety position. Anyway, somebody like Justin Simmons is out there, but Simmons had not played in over a year. In 2024, he was playing under Raheem Morris, who's now the 49ers defensive coordinator. He played for $7.5 million guaranteed for the Atlanta Falcons, but his missed tackle rate was 19.8%. He missed a career high 16 tackles. It was not a good year for Justin Simmons, whose best career year was way back in 2019 for Denver. And a lot of these veteran safeties who are still out there, like Taylor Rapp, for example, was with the Buffalo Bills this past season, Rams earlier in his career. He had a 25% missed tackle rate. That's really, really high. You don't want it to be much higher than 10%. I would say 11, 12% is about average. Marquise Siegel was about average for the 49ers last year, but he struggled in pass coverage, really at the point of catch. Marquise Siegel had some issues for the 49ers in 2025, and I think they hope that he's going to grow out of that. He'll learn how to play the ball better, and they like his athleticism and his ability to tackle. With some of these older safeties on the market, it really is, when you look at the metrics and you look at the tape, which obviously is reflected by the metrics, it is a steep drop-off in tackling, and that the 49ers just can't have that. Now, it's going to be really interesting to see exactly what Raheem Morris does want at safety, because that, to me, is kind of the hidden quarterback of the defense, right? When you talk about a middle linebacker, hearing from the defensive coordinator through the radio on his helmet, that's all good, but it's the safety who can see the entire defense unfold in front of him, and it's the safety who has to make a lot of the more silent communication checks to make sure that a defense is effective. So Raheem Morris might want his own guy in there. As it stands right now, the 49ers obviously have Siegel entering his second year. They have Jair Brown entering his 4th season under contract. And, of course, they've got Malik Mustafa entering his 3rd season. Mustafa has played at the highest level of all those safeties back in his rookie year, but then he tore his ACL at the end of his rookie year. I think that when we look at ceiling, when we look at the cannonball athletic ability that Malik Mustafa has, you put him and Marquise Siegel as the 49ers' 2 highest ceiling safeties. But what is Raheem Morris going to want from a communication perspective? And will the 49ers want to test this out through OTAs to see how their safeties are communicating, how they're looking. Are they only going to break the glass of a veteran in case of emergency, in case they're not able to get anybody who impresses them over the course of the NFL draft and OTAs? I don't know, but at this point, 49ers probably have that one 53-man roster spot left for another safety, and maybe they do let this ride out into the NFL draft because of the tough free agent market that everybody's looking at safety. I mean, Rayshon Jenkins is available. He's still on the right side of 30. He's somebody whom the 49ers offered a contract to in 2024, but he decided to go to Seattle instead because he didn't want to pay California state income taxes. Rayshon played for the Browns last year, and he had a solid year. The missed tackle rate was actually under control. You know, when you look at guys like I just mentioned, when you look at Justin Simmons and that extremely high missed tackle rate, Taylor Rapp and that extremely high missed tackle rate, I think you probably want to stay away from players like that unless you have firm, irrevocable belief that there was a reason for that, injury-wise or whatnot, that you could count on better tackling performance in 2026. But if you really don't believe that you could find anyone in this free agent market that would vibe with what Raheem Morris is trying to bring to the table, that would give you a higher floor, because it's all about raising the floor at that safety position for the 49ers, and that comes with good coverage decisions, good communication, and solid tackling, well, then maybe the NFL draft is where you take a swing. And remember, safety happens to be a spot where the third round has seemed like a happy zone for the 49ers in the NFL draft before. That's where Jair Brown went to San Francisco in 2023. They don't have a third round pick because they traded it to Dallas for Osa Odigizua. So I think if you're the 49ers, the safest bet to improve that safety position is to make sure that the front seven that plays ahead of it is much better equipped than it was last year. And obviously injuries had the biggest impact on the 49ers last year. But if you can make that pass rush better, Fred Warner returns at linebacker, Dre Greenlaw is back at linebacker for the 49ers, I think that you absolutely can expect better safety play. And if it is a rookie that you're bringing in to compete for one of those safety spots, well, he's going to do much better behind a better pass rush. Here we are approaching downtown Phoenix. We're going to open this up for some 49ers questions, and we're going to talk some 49ers owners meetings stuff. John Lynch tomorrow at the Arizona Biltmore. This is actually, I think I've been to downtown Phoenix to watch the Diamondbacks play before, but I'm coming in here from the north side, and I see some light rail. I did not take the light rail, as you can tell. I'm in a Waymo instead because I wanted to take our inaugural freeway ride. But I heard that there is actually some good food here in the downtown Phoenix area. Michael Powers is one of our great viewers, lives in this area, and it messaged me when he read that I was going to be staying in this downtown area, and he gave me a bunch of good recommendations. So we're going to give it a good try here over the course of the next couple days. Lynch on Sunday, Kyle Shanahan on Monday morning up at the Biltmore, and then the AFC coaches will be on Tuesday morning. Then I'm out of town. So just a very, very quick trip here to Phoenix. And this is a look inside the room. Look, they did a good job. It's nice and toasty outside, but dry heat, like they say. Giants, the baseball team, they wish they were still down here in the desert instead of in the regular season. They just got swept by the Yankees. But the good news for all these Bay Area sports fans is that we can pivot to 49ers and 49ers heavy discussion over the course of the next couple of days. You know, really to start this, how about we take a look at the remaining free agent safeties? We got a nice list right here, and Justin Simmons is on that list. His last contract was worth, as I said, $7.5 million fully guaranteed. Now, one disclaimer, Atlanta had a terrible pass rush in 2024, and safety play can often be dependent on the pass rush for obvious reasons. The 49ers had a terrible pass rush last year, and they hope that pass rush is going to be a lot better. But I will continue to emphasize that missed tackle rate is something that has to be Absolutely has to be lower than 15%. Jair Brown last year, for example, was 15.8%. I thought that was too high for the 49ers. Now, because the pass rush wasn't great, the safeties were on their heels more than the 49ers would like. And perhaps they are saying that, okay, the pass rush is going to be better. Guys are going to come back. And maybe even the 49ers will dig into the NFL draft up front. And maybe they think that's going to set the table for better play at safety. But I still think that if you look at the 49ers roster, and we'll take a look at that free agent list in depth in a second. But if you look at San Francisco's overall 53-man projection, 90-man roster right now, they obviously have improved the pass rush from defensive tackle with Osa Odighizuwa. But safety, regardless of what they do in front of it, safety is going to have one more addition, because this is where they're at right now. And they even have the infamous gray shade here. That represents uncertainty to me. Marquise Siegel and Malik Mustafa at the top. Jair Brown is going to be a free agent after this season. This is the final year of his rookie contract. They have typically carried 4 safeties on the 53-man roster, and as you can see here, only 3 spots are accounted for. Now, Derek Canteen or Derek Forrest, one of them spells his name D-A, one of them spells his name D-E-R-R-I-C-K. One of these two guys can obviously earn a spot, but my projection has them on the outside looking in. And if the 49ers do want a 4th safety, well, they might have to sign or draft one. Also, a potential machination of all this is that Nate Hobbs has played a little bit of safety in his career, and he's a really versatile DB. Played outside corner for the Packers on the big contract last year, but I think that history has shown us that Nate's better playing inside. Now, the 49ers already have nickelback figured out, but maybe they go big nickel with Nate Hobbs, small nickel with Upton Stout. And, you know, once you start talking big nickel, small nickel, then you're starting to bleed into the safety position anyway. And we saw Jair Brown play that big nickel position for the 49ers last season. Anyway, back to the free agents available. I can delve a little bit further into this if we go through the list, which has been assembled so well by Spot Rack. Justin Simmons at the top of the list. You see Marcus Williams there as well. Look, George Odom still available. George Odom was a special teams player for the 49ers, released prior to last season. But you go up and down this safety list, and let me reset this. I want to show you guys a couple of the names that I was talking about a little bit earlier with potential prices. And Rayshawn Jenkins was one of them that I mentioned in the car, right? And I can't find his projected APY here. So maybe I have this. Oh, yeah, I have it on the wrong season. That's why. All right, this is a lot better. Now we got it on the right season. So Justin Simmons is no longer there, but the whole point of the start of the video was that we need to add him there because the report is that he would like to play in 2026. He's been out of football for a year, wasn't re-signed after that bad season with the Falcons behind what might have been a non-existent pass rush in 2024. Now, for perspective, the Falcons with that terrible pass rush in 2024 still managed 32 sacks. 49ers last year managed only 20 sacks. San Francisco, though, hopes that the defensive line is going to be in much, much better position now that health has been added and Osa Odighizuwa has been added to the mix. All right, so now we can look at the updated list of safeties. Jimmy Ward is one of the names on there. He's going to be 35, though, and he hadn't played in a year. He was with the Texans, but did not play in 2025. Harrison Smith, he's 37 years old now. He's been with the Vikings his entire career. His missed tackle rate absolutely skyrocketed behind a good pass rush for Minnesota last season. So I think that might be a disqualifier. And I don't think it's all that shocking. Harrison Smith is 37 years old. So in his age 36 season to see his missed tackle rate skyrocket, well, you could put 2 and 2 together. Taylor Rapp, like I said, missed tackle rate skyrocketed to 25%. It seems like slim pickings at this safety position. I could scroll all the way down to Rayshawn Jenkins, and he played for a very small contract last year in Cleveland, $1.4 million per season. And you could see they've got a market value APY for Rayshawn Jenkins. It would be something small like $1.4 million or so. So maybe if the 49ers want to bring in a veteran at a small deal. Rayshon on the wrong side of 30. He's 32 years old. He's been with many teams in the 49ers. The reason I bring him up is because the 49ers had actually offered him a contract in 2024. But he went to Seattle instead because the Seahawks did not have to deal with the state income tax, something that might be coming to Washington, has not officially come there yet. That could hurt the Seahawks when it comes to pursuing free agents, but definitely something to mention. Anyway, that is the setup of the safety position. Here at the owners' meeting is going to be talking to John Lynch tomorrow, Kyle Shanahan on Monday. I really do want to get a gauge of what the 49ers feel about safety there. Obviously is the caveat of the poor pass rush last year that the safeties had to work with. And I know that the 49ers are anticipating getting Nick Bosa back, and they're anticipating getting Micah Williams back. And I tweeted this a little bit earlier today regarding Micah Williams. I have his name circled on this XY chart. The X is double team percentage, so you want to be further to the right. That means that you draw more double teams. And the Y axis is pass rush win rate. Obviously, Micah Williams did not have a good pass rush win rate as a rookie over the 9 games that he played. But look and see where he's at with double team percentage. He drew double teams nearly 50% of the time. There were only 3 edge rushers in the entire NFL who drew double teams more often than Micah Williams. They were Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, who we've been talking about a lot over the course of the past couple days. I'm sure we'll be talking more about him this offseason, and TJ Watt. So that's how good Micah Williams was at drawing extra defensive attention this past year. And I think that's, one of those things that it's really hard to quantify on the stat sheet. But once the 49ers get this guy back next season, he's going to continue to draw double teams. He's only 21 years old. Nick Bosa, probably a bigger question coming off all those ACLs, but I still think they anticipate Nick being a force multiplier. Just between those two and Osa Odighizuwa, who had more pass rushing productivity, more pressures than all the 49ers defensive tackles combined last year, they're going to have a better pass rush. They just need to avoid the complete injury hell that they encountered in 2025. And that should, by extension, make any safety look better. Now, the 49ers have to, and they have a new defensive coordinator now too, they have to take a long, hard look at the safety play and the missed tackles and what went wrong last year and make their best determination as to what exactly was to blame for a lot of the troubles they had back there. Jair Brown, 16% missed tackle rate being one of those issues. Marquise Siegel's troubles in pass coverage last year. The 49ers have to take a long, hard look and determine what the causes were. And if they determine that, okay, the lack of the pass rush made these safeties look terrible, they'll be fine with a better pass rush, the moves might be minimal at safety. So far they haven't done anything yet at that safety position. Now, the NFL draft would allow them to bring another name in. But again, it's very, very difficult to expect a rookie to step in at a position that requires pristine communication. It is very difficult to expect immediate success at that spot in that regard. So I can't wait to talk to Lynch tomorrow to get a better idea of what the 49ers are thinking at that safety position. But isn't this chart amazing, this table amazing with what Micah Williams is able to do? You have so many people who are just reading box scores, taking a look at PFF grades without, watching tape, without watching to see his impact on the field beyond just the simple statistics. And I think that this XY chart probably best captures what Micah Williams was able to do last year in terms of opening opportunities for others. And he did a very, very good job of that. Mike sent me a video of George Kittle. I know I did a good news George Kittle video because we saw him working out earlier today. I guess he is now golfing without a boot. This is more George Kittle good news. Let's take a look at Kittle on the links. Well, I got to get this up on the screen. There we go. And I'll turn off the sound so we're not polluted by that. But there is George Kittle, yes, without a boot, Wonder where it looks like he's somewhere in Tennessee. It was cooler out there today. I was actually in Tennessee today to begin the day. Then I flew out here to Phoenix. So the fact that George Kittle is golfing without a boot, I think that the chances of a week one return are seem to be getting higher and higher. Now I don't know if the chances are high to begin with, but um, Mike said that he's still walking and he might still be a little bit gimpy walking. But remember, it is only March 28th. We still have a long way, long way before the 49ers season opener, early September in Australia. All right, I'm here in Phoenix. John Lynch is going to be tomorrow. Can't wait to head out to the Biltmore. Look, I got a nice setup out here. Nice artwork behind me. Camera setup. The Wi-Fi is very fast. We'll be able to cover the hell out of these owners meetings from the 49ers vantage point, talk about 49ers strategy, put the roster up on the screen. We'll be able to do all that good stuff. And you know what? There's George Kittle golfing. I'm going to put that away from now. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek at the roster. I'm ready to be interactive. I'm ready to answer some of your questions. So I'm heading into the comment section and we will go from there. You say that injury is in the 49ers DNA. Do you think it will be any different this year? Well, it was different in 2023 when they had a very veteran team and they went all the way to the Super Bowl and probably should have won the Super Bowl. I will say this, injury is in the NFL's DNA. This is football. It's a violent sport. And yes, the team that ends up healthiest is usually the team that wins out of the teams that are contenders. 49ers are a contender. We all know it's not rocket science that they have to stay healthy, but listen, the way that some of these people have been talking about this offseason, they're like, oh, well, Mike Evans, he's coming off a year where he suffered some injuries with Tampa Bay. Yes, but Mike Evans is also one of the most durable players that we've ever seen play this sport. He had 11 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career. Only Jerry Rice has also done that. So, I mean, at some point, you have to look at this and say the 49ers have tried to go out and get guys who have been available over the course of their careers this offseason. And the 49ers also will be coming off a year where injury hell reached its very nadir. I mean, it was bad last season for San Francisco. You would have to think that some stuff does get better for the 49ers in 2026. It can't repeat itself the same way that it didn't repeat itself from 2021 and 2022 and 2023, with the asterisk being the quarterback position in 2022. So it is football. There will be injuries. They're going to happen around the whole league. The team that ends up generally healthy toward the end, that also has a lot of talent, is probably going to be the one that has the best chance to win. And the 49ers have been through this drill before where they've been healthier. They're going to have to hope for that in 2026. Yeah, as Terry says, it can't get any worse. Nice picture there of El Capitan. I love that. Good stuff, Terry. The 49ers need to sign me to win one again. What position should I play? Tight end? I'm 6'5.5". I think I would need to bulk up a little bit to play tight end for the 49ers. I'm about 210. So, yeah, I could play wide out, I guess, at some point. However, I'm getting a little long in the tooth for that. I'm 37 years old now, and I don't think that you guys would approve of the 49ers offense getting even older. The stubble and the blazer giving a power look. Well, the wife wants the beard right now. So we're going to go beard again, probably over the course of the next few weeks. It might turn into a season beard, or it might just be an off-season beard, but that is all TBD at this point. I think giving me more of a power look is the excellent lighting that we have here at the it's like an apartment hotel in Phoenix. We're in downtown. It's all good. Joy wants me to play tight end for the 49ers. What is the projected cap hit of the incoming rookies? $9.5 million on the 53-man cap. But the crazy thing is, or it's not really crazy, the nice thing is that on my salary cap projection, we've already essentially accounted for the 49ers rookie class. Why? Because I've already filled out an entire 53-man roster. In fact, I have 54 players on the 53-man roster. So when draftees come in, they will replace some of the players that currently are projected to make it on this sheet. And the cap hit will change a little bit, but in general, the 49ers right now have about 18 to 20 million left. So I try to be as forward projecting as possible with my salary cap work. And that's that's just the way that I try to do it. I think that's the most useful way to do it. All the salary cap websites, I don't fault them because they're having to look at every single team, but everybody goes off of the salary cap websites with how much room the 49ers have. I think we could look forward. I don't think we have to be that lazy. I don't think we have to steal everything from over the cap or spot rack. I think we could actually do our own work. At least I can do my own work, and that's what I've done here. And I could project forward to the draft where it looks like the 49ers have about 18 million in space. Now, that, of course, we're going to be spitballing a little bit because we'll see which draft picks end up making the team and which ones don't. But we do know that the 49ers have 6 selections. Terry says, no beard for David. No Margot, please, no beard. I don't know if she's watching or not back in Nashville right now. Unclear, but maybe we can pass on the message tomorrow. If there's a time to experiment, it is the offseason. Now, I had an elite beard going back in, it was the year that I got married, but like before I got married, like the season prior to that. So I got married in 2023, and the beard came in over the 2022 season. And the 49ers had a good defense that year. So we did the beard in 2022. Maybe we do it again here in 2026, but we'll see. Terry doesn't want it. Mike doesn't want the full beard. We have a lot of opposition to the full beard. Maybe we'll put up a poll for the full beard, but we shall see. TBD. Antonio asks, what is Justin Simmons' tackling grade from the last time he played? It wasn't good. He missed 19.8% of tackle attempts. But he also played behind a terrible line. He's 32. He hadn't been in the game for a year. He did play under Raheem Morris in 2024. His best football came way back in 2019. Yeah, he was good in 2020, 2021, 2022, but I think there has been a decline. Now, that being said, Tashawn Gibson found a fountain of youth with the 49ers in 2022. So is it possible for a safety at age 32 to be good? Of course. But I think that the defensive line has to be good. I think that the front 7 in front of the safety has to be set. The 49ers have done quite a bit of work, and they're going to do some more work. We could talk more about Joey Bosa. We could talk even about Myles Garrett. Hell, if you have Myles Garrett and Nick Bosa coming off the edge, I don't think it matters who plays safety, because you have Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, and Osa Odigizua rushing the quarterback, and Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw at linebackers. So, I mean, then you could have Marquise Siegel and Malik Mustafa. You could have Jair Brown playing safety, for all I care, if you've got that kind of front 7. And that's what the 49ers had in 2022. So that's probably why Tashawn Gibson was able to step in and play at a Pro Bowl level right away. And it's just a reminder that football is a team sport. And they've got to make sure that they shore up the pass rush and keep guys healthier in 2026 to be good anywhere on the defensive side of the ball. Mike is delivering some of the old school 49ers thumbnails that he made back in the bearded era. Apparently this could become a look back at the past of this channel. I've got one of them right here. These are good. It's a blast from the past. So yeah, for those of you who don't believe that the beard has already made an appearance on the channel, you might be new around here, because it actually has. And it looked like this. This was a Q&A before the 49ers played the Seahawks. Looks like from Huntington Lake. A dried up Huntington Lake back in 2022. That was the beard when it was kind of like a medium length. There was also like an intense length beard as well. I think Margot is in some of these pictures. Oh yeah, we have a good one from Prague. This is more of the big time beard. So you guys can vote yes or no whenever we come out with a poll, but I'm giving you guys more ammo, more information with which to make your decision. Wow, we used to have a very, very different style Mike has evolved over the years, and it's been really cool to see him evolve. I still remember doing that live. It was cold as hell. I had to have a scarf. And I think it was like nighttime back in the US. We might have had 30 people watching, but that was way back in 2022. So now we're in Phoenix. We're long. It starts with a P. We're a long way from Prague. More news here from Mike. He said that, wow, the Raiders already have Fernando Mendoza studying Clint Kubiak's playbook, according to Daniel Jeremiah, even though Fernando Mendoza has not been drafted yet by the Raiders. That can only happen toward the end of April. Jeremiah said that Fernando Mendoza, listen to this, is working with Brian Greasy right now. And it's not so much they're working on footwork, they're installing the Raiders offense. And somebody might ask, is that illegal? Well, Brian Greasy is not on a staff right now. Brian Greasy is a private citizen, the former 49ers quarterbacks coach who worked with Brock Purdy and company. I mean, this is really cool. We're in Arizona now, by the way. But Brian Greasy was obviously at the genesis of the Brock Purdy 49ers experiment, which turned out to be excellent. And now that he's retired from coaching, he could work with whomever the hell he wants. And he still knows the 49ers offense, which I'm sure is very similar to the Clint Kubiak Raiders offense. And if the Raiders are planning to draft Mendoza, then there's no penalty for Brian Greasy helping him learn that offense. That is crazy to me. But it's within the rules, and Clint Kubiak is looking forward to ushering a new era of Raiders football. So look at that 49ers influence around the league. I'm starting to get hungry, so I want you guys to ask some good questions so I can go out and eat here in the Phoenix area. I flew across country. Thankfully, I got the upgrade today, so they fed me on the flight. But I'm still hungry because it is dinner time, and it has been a travel day. Yeah, we could still talk about Joey Bosa on the line. Nathan would love to see both Joey and Nick on the 49ers defensive line. Of course, we've been talking a lot about Myles Garrett. The bottom line is the 49ers still have to add an edge rusher. I mean, the reality is the rosters say that. They've added the necessary piece at defensive tackle in Osa Idigizua, but the 49ers still do have to add at that edge rushing position. Can I pull up the 53-man roster projection? Sure. Would you like the 53-man roster projection? If you want a link to it, I could put it into the chat section, but here you go. What position do you want to see? I'm going to copy this. I could put it into the comment section and paste it right now. There you go. It's there. So you could check it out whenever you need to. Just go into the live chat section and find that link. Kurt, I don't know about Simmons unless his extremely high missed tackle rate in 2024 was a byproduct of the Falcons just having a terrible pass rush. I'd be very careful of safeties with extremely high missed tackle rates at this point in their career. You have to make sure that you tackle at that position. Now, it's really, really hard to firmly disassociate a safety's play with the pass rush in front of him. But that applies to the safeties who played for the 49ers already last season, right? I mean, those guys had to deal with a sketchy pass rush. The Falcons that Simmons played for in 2024 had 32 sacks, which was a league low. The 49ers last year had only 20 sacks. It was like record anemic pass rush. But we also know that it happened in large part because of the injuries. The 49ers defense over the first 2 weeks of the season before guys got hurt was a top 5 defense. So, a lot of the people that freak out and they think, oh, just tear everything down, you got to remember where this defense was before guys did get hurt. And the 49ers, to some extent, have to build around what they had early on because those are your foundational pillars, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. You don't just go out and discard those guys. I know that people were advocating for that, but those people were out of their minds. So extremely important for the 49ers to remain grounded in the realities of what they had when they were healthy last year as they try to build this back into health in 2026. And even when they were healthy last year, the 49ers were deficient when it came to interior pass rush, which is why they traded for Osa Odighizuwa. And then you can argue that even when they were healthy, there was some sketchiness at safety last year, at least from the veteran perspective, which is why they might look to make a Deshaun Gibson-like signing. But is that type of player available? And perhaps more pertinently, is the type of front seven that the 49ers had in 2022 available? Because that really helped Deshaun Gibson look as good as he did. Chinese or Mexican food? Maybe neither. Maybe I'm going to go for a burger tonight. I don't know. I'm going to have to see what still is open. But as I mentioned earlier in the show, Michael Powers, one of our good viewers who lives here, gave me a lot of nice recommendations. And I'm probably going to go to one of the places that he recommended here in the downtown Phoenix area. It's got to be open, though. That's the key. Yes, Kyle Juszczyk is a core player still on the 49ers depth chart. If you want to go back to see the A-list pillars, Purdy, McCaffrey, Juszczyk. It's going to be year 10 for Juszczyk, Evans, Kittle. But, Kittle, we have him shaded because of the Achilles injury. But obviously he's a core player. Trent Williams. Oh, so they've got the bang for the buck this offseason has been insane. They've added 2 core players in Mike Evans and Osa Odighizuwa. And Osa was a cap hit they inherited for the Cowboys, but Mike Evans is at $4.25 million this year. They've been doing some work along the A-list foundations this offseason at spots that were tremendously deficient last season. Wide receiver and pass rushing defensive tackle. Remember, Osa had more pressures for the 49ers or for the Cowboys last year than every single 49ers 2025 defensive tackle combined. That's crazy. Do I drink soda? No, I don't drink soda. Some good questions here. Stanley asks, David, are you planning to have kids? Stanley is an awesome viewer. I believe you're in Hawaii, right, Stanley? I love your comments. Answer to that question is yes. Snaggy Dan says, I bet the 49ers go wide receiver first round. I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all if the 49ers went wide receiver first round. I mean, they've been doing a ton of research on receivers in the first round with their list of 30 visits. The front and back have to be on the same page for the defense to be dominant. Correct, Antonio. Correct. Omar Cooper or Casey Concepcion at 27? I think Casey Concepcion fits best for the 49ers. If you're giving me those two guys as a choice. I think that KC can return kicks and punts, and that would be a nice boost for San Francisco as well. Dylan's on. Dylan's awesome. I'm sure Dylan might be a little bit depressed about the start of the Giants season. I love his content. You can check him out. Where all are you at, Dylan? Are you on TikTok too? I don't really use TikTok, but I know you're on Instagram, and it's always really funny. And it's like reasonable. It's funny and it's reasonable at the same time. But I'm sure that Dylan is not happy about the Giants getting swept by the Yankees to begin the season. But he's in full 49ers mode now. And he says that the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I interviewed the mayor. I went into Daniel Lurie's office, a month ago now at this point, maybe a month and a half ago. Time flies. And I made the prediction on the show that the 49ers will win the Super Bowl in 2026. And maybe I'll be right. Well, wouldn't that be crazy? I have a lot of bets to pay off to my viewers if I'm finally right with the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. I think I have to swim Alcatraz without a wetsuit on the day of the parade. And I think I have to show you guys the backside of the number 17 jersey, but still a long way from that. Right now, I'm in Phoenix for the owners' meetings where it's much warmer than would be on an Alcatraz swim. And we have to go get some food right now. Time to eat. It's been 40 minutes. Good show. Everybody hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. Talking to John Lynch tomorrow here from Phoenix. Thanks for watching. Good little intro show, right? From the desert. It's going to be a fun couple days here from the owners' meeting. So hit that subscribe button and we will talk to you very soon.